Lowry and Rob, we're going to have someone else join us now. So that by-election is happening in Alberta's Battle River-Crowfoot riding, is drawing national attention, as we're seeing. And it's not just because it's a tight race. It's not even because of how all of this is unfolding. It is also because of those 210 names that we have been talking about. Many of the candidates are independents. It is the longest ballot in Canadian history. And many of them say that they are part of a protest. It is called the Longest Ballot Initiative. Derek Jouppi is joining me now. He is one of the candidates and has been kind enough to join us in studio today and is here with me. Derek, hi.
Hey, Saroja, how are you?
I'm well. So strong reactions from across the country about the longest ballot initiative. You are running in Alberta's Battle River-Crowfoot riding, but you live in Toronto, and I understand that you actually haven't been to Alberta. So why are you doing this, and why is it important to you?
I don't think the fact that I haven't been to the riding plays a part in why I'm doing this. We've seen in the most recent election that Mark Carney doesn't live in Nepean. Kelly DeRitter does not live in Kitchener Centre. Right now, Pierre Poilievre is also not going to be living and residing in Battle River-Crowfoot. Location for national elections isn't important, in my opinion.
So then go ahead.
So yeah, sorry, you asked why is it important to me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm using this as an opportunity to get involved politically. As someone who has stood on the sidelines to politics for many years, I've recently started getting involved in local elections. I campaigned for various parties for the provincial election here in Ontario and the federal election that we just had. And this is a great opportunity for me to start and get involved and actually put my name on the ballot.
There's a part of this that's also about electoral reform.
Absolutely. It's one of the things I care most about.
And what is it that you're hoping to achieve by joining this longest ballot? 210 names, and you're one of them.
I'm one of them. And I hope that by putting my name out there, that we're going to be able to bring the conversation on electoral reform to the front lines of Canadian politics. It's something that politicians have avoided for years. Trudeau put it famously on his platform as one issue he definitely said he would tackle when first elected, and then proceeded to not for over 8 years.
Oh, sir. I mean, that quote has come back over and over and over again, and been held as an example of a failed conversation, or a conversation that didn't happen to satisfy public need, regardless of where people landed politically. What specific changes to Canada's voting system do you think are needed?
I think the first thing that we need to do is establish a similar electoral body to Elections Canada. Call it, for the sake of this interview, Elections Rules Canada, an independent, nonpartisan body that can oversee democratic reform. 90% of OECD countries have abandoned first past the post as their system. They've implemented systems that involve a ranked ballot where you can choose your candidates in order of preference, so that if you prefer to vote for a small party, you don't have to worry about sites like votewell.ca to tell you who you should strategically vote for if you really don't like someone who might otherwise win. There are other systems that involve proportional representation that help ensure that the popular vote matches the representation that candidates have in Parliament. And it would help, even Mr. Poilievre in Ottawa, for example, where 36% of all people in the Greater Ottawa area voted for a Conservative member, but no candidates in the Greater Ottawa area are Conservative. 100% are Liberal. Similarly, in Battle River-Crowfoot, where 80% of people vote for a Conservative candidate and only 20% of votes are lost. Nationally, we see that 50% of votes are cast for candidates who don't win, which means that Canadians don't have their voices heard in Parliament. And to me, I think it's time to change. And the way I'm taking action is by putting my name forward and hoping to bring this to the front line.
Well, thanks for explaining all of that, Derek. I'm going to present a challenge for you, if I may. So this race, 210 candidates on the ballot. Some of those names, very serious local candidates who have relationships with the people there. What do you say to anyone who might be concerned that this flood of names on the long ballot can hurt the candidacy of some of those local candidates?
Yeah, I feel for candidates like Bonnie Critchley, who might feel that we're attacking her by joining and becoming another independent name on the ballot. I think that if you are in the riding, you should always research all the candidates in your area and vote for the platform that best represents what you want to see enacted. My platform, for example, focuses on electoral reform. Hers does not, but it is also a valid platform. Poilievre's does not, but his is a valid platform. I am another candidate. And, as a candidate, I don't think we're all here to attack each other. I think we're all here to advocate for what we see as the best path forward for Canada.
I am here with Derek Jouppi. He is one of the 210 candidates in the Battle River-Crowfoot by-election. Our question this hour is, why does the Pierre Poilievre by-election matter to you? And what does it say about Canadian politics? You can call. We've still got another 20 minutes in this conversation. 1-888-416-8333. You can also go to cbc.ca/aircheck. Derek, if I could put one last question to you. There are a huge number of candidates who have raised concerns about accessibility, especially for voters with visual or cognitive disabilities, because 210 names has meant that people are going to have to write the name of the candidate that they choose. Is that something which doesn't mean that there won't, Elections Canada has said there will still be supports there, but I'm wondering if this is something that you or others who are involved in this longest ballot initiative have been considering and talking about.
Yeah, we had a meeting about it a few days ago, and I can confirm that if a name is misspelled, it will be matched to the closest name. Even as little as initials of the candidate that you want to vote for will be counted, as long as those initials are themselves unique amongst all the candidates. For example, I don't think there are two candidates running with the initials PP. You could write that on your ballot. I do understand that having more candidates is maybe harder to understand if you are impaired or in some way. But at the same time, the sign of a well-functioning democracy is a lot of people running for change that you can pick from. What we want to avoid, I think the worst thing that could happen is, instead of 200 names on the ballot, is you only have 2 names on the ballot, or 1 name. If you look at what Pierre Poilievre wants to enact, it's to drastically increase the number of signatures required to put a candidate forward. And in some names, in some ridings, the number of votes that even popular parties like the Greens and the NDP received is less than what Pierre is proposing. I don't think that although we're seeing a very high number of candidates in this riding, I would not advocate for a system that would reduce the number of candidates down to a 2-party system.
Well, thank you for telling us a little bit about why you're participating the way that you are, and for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Derek Jouppi is one of 210 candidates in the Battle River-Crowfoot by-election in Alberta. Coming up, Pierre Poilievre is likely to win his Alberta by-election, but our political panel is laying out what is at stake. So you can stay tuned for that. Our question this hour: why does the Pierre Poilievre by-election matter to you?